Anjali Manoj, who has been instrumental in making all this happen, in making my dream come true. So, give her, thank you. She doesn't like it, but who cares? I don't know what all of you think of me, and I don't know what Anjali thinks of me, but today I have given her the honor of telling you guys something simple about me. You all know I am a very timid, shy, sort of an old lady. So Anjali is going to elaborate on that.
Okay, good morning everyone. Nice to see faces here. Some I know, some I hope to know. It becomes a problem connecting name to face. So please don't believe I've ignored you. If I don't know you, please let me know your name. And I'm very happy to meet HT members. But about the woman of our hour. I remember watching Sound of Music, and there's a character, Maria. And they say, how do you keep a wave upon the sand? I always wondered if there would be a person like that. Well, she's met her match. Lenny is that into so much more. Please be aware, she's told me not to criticize her too much, which is why I'll be saying only good things. Take it with a pinch of salt and then add the rest that you know about her truly. What do you say about a person who starts the introduction to her book saying, I dedicate this book to the sperm and the egg and not to my parents? Just that one dedication tells you more than you need to know. She has also written about herself. I have added the right amount of mischief, compassion, humor, empathy, madness, and cunning to concoct the spicy hodgepodge that is my life. Well, that spicy hodgepodge is just her. She's a bit of humor, madness, cunning, so much life. Joy the Weaver, who definitely will get offended if I call her a senior citizen, but she is that. And to see someone do all this with no inhibitions whatsoever is something amazing. I think most of the people who read what she writes, definitely her book, have at one point in that book thought, oh my God, I wish I was a little bit like her. I wish I could do this. You mean you can actually do that at this age? You mean she can say these things out loud and nobody gasps? Well, she does that, and I think that should inspire all of us to do that too. When I asked her about her million roles and what she found the most rewarding, she said mother and wife. She has 3 beautiful children, the offspring as she refers to them, elder, younger, and the boy. I haven't had the privilege of meeting them, but I feel like I know so much about them that I sometimes imagine I'm like one of the siblings because you've heard so much about them. I must give it to them for all the support they've given this poor, old, frail lady who wanted to try something and wasn't so sure of herself. But one look at her and you know what those children will be. I know Abraham and her children have been tremendous support to her. And if towards the end of my life, I can say I have enjoyed life or lived life without inhibitions, at least 1/10 as what Lenny has, I think I will be glad. So here's to all of you. Don't get your knickers in a twist. Go out, live the life you want. Just remember to keep the knickers on.
For a moment, when I was listening to Anjali talk about this beautiful, wonderful, amazing woman, I was thinking to myself, good Lord, I'd like to meet her. Then suddenly I realized, good God, that's me she's talking about. So anyway, thank you, Anjali, for that lovely, spontaneous, though dramatic introduction. I'm very grateful to you. As for this gathering today, this stupendous, I'm really flummoxed. I'm amazed at this mind-blowing gathering. I never expected such a large group of people to come from as far as Mundakayam. I'm really thrilled and happy that you all have come to support me and to show encouragement in my book and in what I'm doing. Like any host, I'm wondering if I have enough sandwiches to go around, and I'm wondering if I'll have to give up mine to become the good host. Well, whatever. Actually, when I told my son, whom I refer to as a boy, when I told him I'm going to write a book, it's about you guys and your father, he said, good mama, the dad's in a chair now. Otherwise, he would have got up and clobbered you. So, in a way, well, much as he's in a chair, he does his bit, don't worry. I want to tell you guys how this amazing dream came about. Actually, well, you may laugh at this. There is a platform called Where in Trivandrum. So one day I was just lying down in the afternoon when I heard a ping on my phone. When I opened the phone, it said, are you interested in dating? Not dating, dating. So I said, am I interested in dating? Of course, why not? So I wrote back to them. I don't know who they are. Do you remember? Yeah. So I wrote back to them saying, of course I'm interested in dating. Though I'm a woman past my 70s. I don't want to go to my death without experiencing this wonderful dating. From there on, it was uphill. Everybody on Where in Trivandrum, that's the guys of Trivandrum, were interested in this woman. Who is she? Then I asked them, I think it's still on there. It's there? Yeah. There were a few threads. I asked them once, where in Trivandrum can you go to a good place to spend your evening? You know, moonlight, soft music, the waves, the breeze, things like that. I'd like to go on Tuesdays. My husband will go on Wednesdays. So that got a big raise. Well, things like that, it went on. Anyway, I think the administrator didn't like the importance or the attention I was getting. Perhaps it removed itself from him, maybe. So he got a doctor friend of mine to tell me to tone down and go elsewhere because that's not a place to joke. It's a bit rude, but okay, he's got a point there. That's when a friend of mine who is here today, yeah, Priya Mary, whom I've acknowledged in my book, she told me, please don't stop your jokes. Please continue them, but go to a platform called Her Trivandrum. For those of you, I think most of you know of it, but those of you who does not know about it, there is this platform called Her Trivandrum, where you can go and open your heart out. You can joke, you can laugh, you can cry, you can do any damn thing. Yeah, but Mama is very strict. Mama is one strict woman. You can't fool around. So I have to send in a request. So I said, Priya, will you give a request in my name? So Priya sent me a request and I sent in the request and I was praying, God, please let this lady accept me, poor me. This lady accepted me. And now she's got a headache on her. She's saying, will you stop it, Lenny? You're too much. You're spoiling my women. Didn't you say, I'm spoiling your women? Didn't you? She said, I'm spoiling all. Where's Radha? Radha, put up your hand. Come here, Radha. Come here. No, no, no. Come here. Radha was a good, little, nice lady. And now she keeps telling me she's become bad because of me. All of us. You heard that? I have nothing to say. So that's Anjali Manoj. Now, on a serious note, let me introduce you to my muse, the person on whom most of my stories are based, who cannot fight back, my husband of 46 years, Abraham Zachariah. But I'll tell you, he was a wild one. He's not like this. He was not ever like this. When his proposal came, my mother, after we fixed the engagement, my mother found out he lived on the Pamba River, on a boat. Not even on a house, in a house, sorry. So here I was, a nice, convent-educated, very polished little lady, getting married to someone on a boat who fishes and swims in the raw, I think. I don't know. How will that gel? So my mother said, should we carry on? I said, he needs to be tamed. I'll do the job. Don't worry. Anyway, it was a good ride, 46 years. Unfortunately, now he's become weak and tired. But sometimes the verve is still there. He will pick up his head to fire me, and I have to fire him back. Actually, Anjali, after she accepted me, offered me a Monday post. She said, Lenny, can you write a post every Monday for the girls to read? Something, anything. And thus began my rendezvous with Mondays. I would put a post every Monday, and Anjali would put it up. If she didn't see me or if I was late, she'd WhatsApp me. Are you okay? What's happening? Because the post didn't arrive on time. So that was how I found out my acting prose, that I could. But even long before this, I had a very great interest in writing. It started from school where the teacher would say, expand the following. You know, I think most of you, you were given a skeleton and you had to fill in the skeleton. And she would say, expand it. Go on, expand. Now, I expanded it so much, she said, now stop expanding it. Because my imagination would run away with me and I would enjoy. I would go and go and go and until she said, Lenny, please, 2 pages, 3 pages, that's too much. Anyway, from that time or from then on, I found that I had the penchant for writing. And I would oftentimes write. But along the way, along life, you know, when my mom sees me, old school people, my dad and mom, when I would write something, she'll say, Enduva idu? Poirunnu padikku. Chumma ravile thottu ezhutha. Go and learn your thing. she would tell us, we people are a family of teachers. You have got to be a teacher. So I would put my book aside, I would stop writing. It's not like today where you see, you watch your child. What is she good at? Painting, carpentry, music, dancing, whatever, and you let her pursue her dream. No. At that time, they set the rules and you just followed it. Hell or high water, that was what you do. So I kept my books away, my dreams away, and I would study my algebra. Oh God, she loved algebra. And I didn't know what ABC was doing in mathematics. So we were always fighting about it. Anyway, then came along the professional job, life, the marriage, the husbands, and this dream got into the back burner. It was there, not forgotten, but just pushed aside. Then came old age. The children had left, and I was left with you know who. And we had nothing to talk about because we had spoken about everything in 46 years. So he would sit on the chair and flick the channels. I would sit in the other chair and read some book. It was so boring, so monotonous, that I said to him one day, Raju, let's do something exciting. So he's going on flipping the channels, and he said, what? I said, I don't know. And I was thinking, let's go to Kovalam, let's have a moonlight, whatever, stroll in the sand or whatever. I said, I don't know, you say, what do we do? Let's go out. He says, you know what? Let's swap chairs. That's as romantic as he is. I said, what? Yeah. നീ എൻ്റെ കസേരയിൽ ഞാൻ കുറേ നേരം മാറിയിരിക്കാം. അത് മതിയോ? I said, oh, നിങ്ങളെ തന്നെ മടിയാകാം. The nom de plume I chose. The nom de plume. Are you coming here? The nom de plume that I chose for myself is Sassy Pen. Why such that?
What? By the time I asked you, you had it ready. You didn't think, it didn't take you a minute to come.
Yeah. That's Anjali. Anjali asked me, hey, you know what? What do you want to call yourself or your... Come here. This is Roshanara. She is my elder girl's classmate. Lillikutti. No? Acha. See, even they're dressed alike. Look at that. See, he knows her. What was I? Oh, yeah, I was telling you about my nom de plume. So Anjali asked me, so what are you going to, how are you going to call yourself when you write all these things? I had the name. I had the name because all my life, you won't believe it to see him now, but I think she knows. Molly knows how Abraham used to be in college. Yeah? Look at her laughing. I think she made eyes at him. So Abraham was very dashing. Big mustache. What's that hairstyle? That curly to the Kurivikuda. Yeah, he had a Kurivikuda, mustache, everything. He was the tops. I didn't fall. My mom fell for that. So that was how it was. So you know what happened? When we were in Kuwait, when you look like a peahen. He's a peacock. He looks like a peacock, like that. You're so shabby and drab. So when Anjali asked me, what is your nom de plume? What are you going to call you? I knew it. Peahen. But I added one word. Sassy Pen. I was sassy. I was going to be sassy. That is how I got my... Can you just hold it while I... Can you just... Yeah. So that was how I got the nom de plume, and I think I made the correct choice because it has really given me fame. Anyway. Like I said, why did I come back to writing? With the children gone, and both of us alone in a big rambling house, there was actually nothing to do. And I thought of many things. I looked at gardening. I wasn't that good. The mosquitoes were too much. I looked at cooking. I'm hopeless at that. Then I thought, what shall I do? That's when I thought, my God, I can go back to writing. And that's when I went back to writing. And I asked my sister, look, I am planning to write a book. What do you think I should write about? She said, write about what you know best. So I said, what's that? Yourself. You don't know anybody more than yourself, right? So why don't you write about you? I said, but what's there about me? So she told me everybody's got a story. If you look deep inside, you will find it. And that is how I thought I would start writing my story, or whatever. And I would present it on Her Trivandrum, and Anjali would post it. And thank you, girls from Her Trivandrum. You really made my day. The girls of Her Trivandrum enjoyed my shenanigans to the nth degree. They egged me on. They helped me get better. And I can really say that my success is really due to you girls. Thank you so much. You know, like my skeleton. I'm going on with the story. The best panacea for old age, or I see a plane. So I said, oh. So you see, at that moment I felt very little. I felt I couldn't get that word, taxi. And it made, throughout the journey, I think it was from Dehradun to some place, throughout the journey I felt small and I didn't want to talk to him anymore. I was thinking into myself, he might think me illiterate. He might think I'm stupid. So that's a turning point I felt. I thought I should go back to writing so I can bring back my words you know, not forget what I want to say. And you needed to channel your thoughts, not get stuck while you're talking. And I thought to myself, if I don't do that, I will die. Not physically, but an even worse death, a living death. You'll be living, but I feared that I would not be living to the whole extent of my life. So I thought I'll go back to writing. There were glitches in the beginning. I couldn't get a word, I couldn't get a sentence, I couldn't get the continuity, but never mind, I got there. And her Trivandrum really egged me on, because the posts I put, though small, were good. And with that, I got to do bigger passages. And that way, the ladies, they kept egging me on. Come on, ma'am, compile this, make it a book. We want a book, we want a book. So I said, I don't think I can write a book. I mean, small posts are okay, but not a book. But they said, no, just put together what you have. We want a book. So I said, okay. And one day I was at home, and I thought, yeah, why not? I'll try. And that's how this idea was born. And I had help along the way, of course. Lots of help from various people. There's always my critic, Priya Roy. She says she's a doctor, pathologist, REC and all, but her job is to criticize me. Anyway, that way I got to this point. Now, writing the book is okay. It is like the gestation period. 9 months you carry a baby. I carried this baby for about 20 years. I had this dream. I had the writings, though I lost a lot when I shifted from Malaysia to India, then India to Kuwait, then Kuwait, when Saddam Hussein came, I lost everything. My writings, my cassettes, my photographs, my gold, everything. And we had to rush down. But even then, when I finally wrote this book, after 20 odd years, when the delivery happened, when I gave it to Notion Press, and when they delivered the baby, I was apprehensive. I was shaking. I was thinking, I'm going to put this out. I don't know how it's going to be received, whether they will laugh at it or whether they will ignore it, which is worse, or whether they will say it's bad. But I tell you, the reviews are great. Someone said, I'm better than Arundhati Roy. Check it out. Yeah, check it out. Not someone, a pediatric rheumatologist. She said, I couldn't get past page 35 of Arundhati Roy, but your book, I didn't put it down. So guess who's a winner? Then another person said, this is a great legacy for your children and your grandchildren. I'm looking at that person. Then another person, very cryptic. How was my book? Brilliant. But she's mama. She's got her words clipped.
I praise her every week, so I thought I would let it get to her head once.
She's so bad. Still, I love her. Then there's another lady. This is going to bump you all. There's another lady in Bangalore. She said, listen carefully, she said, Shashi Tharoor is on my shelf half read. Your book I read till 2 a.m. and finished it. Wow or what? I will not speak more. Before you start yawning, let me say my thanks. Special thanks to the incorrigible Mama. Let her go on correcting me, scolding me, and pushing me. Mr. Shafiq H., who does everything for me. He's my banker, my helper, my son. If I want anything, I take the phone. Shafiq, yes ma'am, and it's done. Thank you so much, Shafiq. He's the Senior Regional Manager at CFCICI. Anybody interested can always approach him. Of course, you have come for the cakes and the drinks. Thank you, Priya Roy and Roy Sudhishan. They have done the honors today. I'm so grateful to them. They are people who will come to my house, push me out of my kitchen and start cooking. What do? I'm a poor, simple woman, so I keep quiet. Then there is Saraswati Vasudevan. Where are you? I don't know. Yeah, there. Who's a big helper of mine. She did my posters and she's always there calling me up and worrying me, come here Lenny, come there Lenny. Thank you so much, Saraswati, really. She runs a jewelry boutique called Tejas. If any of the ladies are interested, you can always go there. And she also runs Mahima, which is a non-profit organization helping self-empowering women. So see, she's really doing good. Then, I don't know if I can say her name. Can I? An incorrigible friend of mine, who I already said is a doctor at RCC, who bought my book, then bought my book for all her family, all her aunts. Read this book or else. Thank you so much. And she has done more for me. I don't know if I can say that. No. She said no. Thank you so much. With no holds barred, my people Friday, Prabha and George, my PNG, not Procter and Gamble, but Prabha and George. They are my left hand and my right hand. Prabha has been with me for over 35 years. You've heard stories about her. Yeah? You've heard stories about her, and George has been with me to help look after Abraham. Without them, I can't do anything. I can't achieve anything. I can't even write a line. They have been with me all along. As I wind up, I want to say this. In coming here today, I hope all of you, even if you don't take a book of mine, take away this message with you, that growing old is not growing dead. As long as there is life in you, squeeze it out. Live it to the extent you can. Make the most of it. It's given to you. I swear to you, out of 1,000 sperm, one mixed with one egg, and that is you. So you are lucky. Make the most of it. Of course, there will be pains and aches and the worries of old age, but that shouldn't hold you back. So take this message with you, and don't say that life ends once you turn 60 or 70 or 75. Yeah, Reshma? Roshanara? Yeah? So thank you, all of you, once again for coming and making this a grand success. I'm so totally obliged to you all. I thank you from the very bottom of my heart, sincerely, honestly. I never ever thought there would be such a healthy crowd, but thank you. Thank you, everybody. Now, the main part of the event for which you all have come, I think, the refreshments are there. Feel free to take and have and enjoy while I'll sign some books. Okay. Thank you very much.
Wow.